Hey, how you going, guys? It's the Shindigs, and today this is just going to be a guide all about water. So basically what it's going to go through is a couple of different water sources that you can identify in-game, just to give you a bit of a head start. I'm going to be taking you through two of my favorite water containers that are easy to make. We'll have pretty common resources in, so you guys can easily make them as well. And then at the end, I'll be going through a sustainable water setup. Let's get into it. So I've just started up a new world, and first off, what we're going to be looking at is coconut container. So basically what you're going to need for this is a coconut, 2 tree bark, and something sharp. So for example, I'm going to be looking for either a sharpened rock or a shale. So I'm just going to go through now, get those materials and show you where to get them from. So first off, what you want to do is you want to find a rock here. And then either by right-clicking and gathering with hands or using a pickaxe, you want to mine it until you get either 2 large rocks or just the straight-out sharp rock. So you can keep mining till you actually get the physical a sharp rock, or you can go into your crafting table and you can make a sharp rock with 2 large rocks. So and I go to this, it's showing you on the right-hand side what items in white it's going to use to make this sharp rock. Like this, and then it's made it. Or you can go to a desert biome such as this, and then find some sandstone, and you can continuously start mining that until you pick up shale, which is exactly like a sharp rock, just a different type. So we want to get 2 tree bark. So just by cutting a tree, you'll eventually get logs, and if you go into your crafting menu, you'll be able to dismantle logs, and they provide you tree bark. So I found a coconut tree, and when we look at this coconut tree, it has a short description: a tall palm tree able to produce life-sustaining coconut fruit when mature. And then down the bottom of the description text, it has a stage text of what stage of growth this coconut tree can be in. So either it can be a sapling, it can be the middle or the end of its life. So right now it's in the middle, and it's at the best bit, it's ripening. Just got another, and then as I got the third, it went to this stage here. So if I keep cutting this tree after I've gotten all of the coconut out of it, and it changed to a different animation, I will start destroying the tree. And as you can see here, the plant is in its budding stage of growth, so it must go budding, flowering, then ripening. Okay, so now that we have all of the raw resources of the coconut container, I'm going to tell you how to refine all of these items into what you need to create the final product. So, if you find it here, it says you need a cork, a string, and a peeled coconut. And you might be wondering, well, how do I make a string? How do I make a cork? Don't worry, I've got everything that you need. So, step by step, I'm going to tell you how to make a coconut container. So, what you want to do, first off, is you want to dismantle the coconut, which will make a peeled coconut. Secondly, you're going to dismantle a tree bark. That's going to give you 2 stripped bark. Step 3 is going to be making a string. Step 4 is going to be making a cork, which is one of the tree bark it will use. And then you're going to put all of these together to make the container of coconut water. Okay, so now that we've made the coconut container, what I'm going to be taking you through is how to make a water skin. This is another very common item to store water in. So what you're going to need for this is 3 bark, 1 bone or 1 bone fragment, 1 animal hide, 1 log, and 1 sharp rock. So I'm just going to go and show you where to get all of these items from. So one of the resources of getting a animal hide is a giant rat. They're pretty easy to kill. Normally they only take around 4 damage to kill. So first you have to kill the giant rat. So when you're in a 1x1 square like this, when he's right in front of you, all you do to attack something is just walk into them. So when he's dead like this, with the corpse, you're going to have to carve it with a tool, just dismantling his body when you're carving it up. Now from that, I get the animal pelt that we needed, as well as the bone fragment that we needed. Everything else I'm just going to chuck away because I don't need. just a couple of different sources of the animal hide and the bone fragments would be not just the giant rat, but rabbits also give it, goats give it as well, and then above that is bears. To get the bark and the log, you get those from trees. So now that we've gotten all of those things, the last thing that I need is the sharp rock. So first what we're going to do is dismantle the bone fragments to make a needle. Secondly, I'm going to dismantle 2 of the bark. Thirdly, I'm going to dismantle the animal pelt so I get the leather hide. Then I'm going to craft a mortar and pestle from the log. Then what we needed that mortar and pestle for is to make tannin. So what tannin does is it tans the leather hide into workable leather. So right here, tanned leather. And now we are going to turn the cordage into the string that we need. Those are the constituent parts just to make the water skin. So as you can see, a tanned leather, string, and a needle. So we got the needle from those bone fragments, the string from the bark turned into the cordage, and then the tanned leather from that animal hide. Now that I've showed you how to make water containers, what we're going to be going through is where to find fresh water sources. So the first place I'm going to be showing you is this kind of sort of oasis area. So you get quite a lot of fresh water sources from this area. You know you're in the right place when you see these cypress trees, as well as a bit of swampy marshland. If I use my container on these water sources, so just by right clicking and gathering water, it consumes one of the areas that I'm gathering. So out of this spot, we collected 1, 2, 3, but it has a potential of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So within the game, that would probably last you a couple of days. I'm going to show you a couple of other examples. I had to change accounts to try to find this area, but this is what a snow sort of biome looks like. Usually they're hidden between these sort of rocky enclaves. You see that the entrance is very narrow and you wouldn't expect something this large to be inside. I can gather the water from the snow. So as you can see, this is a very, very big resource of water. So after just walking around for a little bit, I've just found a single plot of shallow fresh water. So around me, there aren't any of the normal oases or anything. So these just spawn kind of randomly throughout the map. So it's just that one-stop shop of just that one fresh water. Now, if you're really struggling and you can't find any of these places, there is still hope. So basically what you can do is you can make yourself a shovel, and then what you can do is you can just keep digging. Sorry that took so long, but as you can see, this is not a very viable method as it takes quite a lot of energy as well as quite a lot of food to just try to dig for shallow fresh water. So now that we've found a couple of different water sources and we've collected the water in our water containers, as you can see, it'll say it's unpurified fresh water. So basically what that means is if you drink it, you're most likely going to get poisoned or very sick, and it's going to cause you damage. So this water right now, this fresh water sources, like shallow fresh water source, we can't drink it straight away, so we're going to have to do something to the water to make it safe to drink. So basically, to purify this water, we're going to need fire. So there's a couple of different ways you can make fire. I'm just going to be going through 2 of the quickest ways to get fire. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut down a tree. We're going to process a couple of logs down. I'm going to leave one because that's one of the methods. And if we go into here, there's 2 fire starting methods we can use. Either we can use a hand drill or a fire plow. Now that we have the fire plow, what we need to do is dismantle a stick, and it's going to give us wooden dowels. So refine the wooden dowel down to make shavings. So from sticks, you can just make everything you need to make fires. Use it to make the fire, and then if we go into the crafting, if we use the fire, we can make them all into the container of fresh water, and fresh water is something you can drink. So now that I've shown you what the water sources look like on the map that you can gather water from, I'm going to be showing you how to make water stills. So basically what they do is allow you to get a sustainable or infinite source of water by turning ocean water or seawater into fresh water. So for one of these, we are going to need a water container, 2 rocks, so either sandstone or large rocks. We're going to need a pole, we're going to need a bark, and then some sort of sharpener. Now that we have all the materials to make a water still, I'm just going to go into my crafting menu. And the first step we're going to be doing is dismantling the tree bark to get some cordage so that we can make a string, and then we're going to make the container just had to be emptied for me to use it in the crafting. So when you make this water still, it is going to use one of your water containers. So I have a glass bottle, a water skin, a coconut, so make sure that the thing you want to be used is highlighted. So I'm going to make my water still. So when starting up my water still, where I think about putting it is I've just made a little base here just for an example. I like to keep all of my water stills close to my water source. If I have to be going back and forth to fill a water still, it's going to be very time consuming. So in order to start a water still, first you need to gather some sort of water. So I did seawater, and then you right click, and then you pour into the direction that you're facing. If I'm facing this way and I pour it, it's going to pour it on the ground. So you need to be facing the water still, pour your water into it, and then you're going to need to light a fire under it. As you can see, it's lit the fire underneath it. And now I'm just going to wait to show you how long it takes for all the water to purify. And there you have it. So I've just completed waiting, and then if I shift and I look at this, it gives a description. A stone water still ready to be lit and desalinate water. There is purified water in the still. So we have the water. All you need to do to gather it is right click your water container and then gather it, and then we can drink it. Perfect. So for this setup, I would probably suggest you making around 3 water stills is ideal, because that's around about how much water I use in a day. So normally you need either 2 or 3 top-ups a day to survive one of those days. You can go more if you want. You know, you can future-proof yourself, have like 15 of these, and then just go down the line, light them all on fire, and then only come back every so often to desalinate it again. Well, that's everything I have to teach you. Hopefully you found this very, very interesting. Hopefully you learned something new about the game. As I find throughout I play the game, it can be quite an unforgiving game, but if you know your way around, it can, you can have quite a fun sort of time playing it, and enjoy it as much as me. Well, yeah, so if you found the guide helpful, if you could leave the video a like, that would be really helpful to me, just so people, more people can see this information and have an easier time playing this game if they wish to search it up. And subscribe if you want to see more of my guides. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate your time. And yeah, have fun playing the game, man.